Hey guys, your Dark Avenger Chris here, and welcome to the 95th episode of my Dark Avengers comic book review, which means only 5 more to go. Not Johnny 5. 5 more to go until the big 100. These papers are terrible, and they are not working with me, I swear. Sorry, Johnny. Anyway, you guys notice I got a nice little new background thing going on here. Unfortunately, it's not as straight as I initially thought it would be. Is it straight on the camera? Okay. We've got Swamp Thing's head over here, and we got my Sentinel friend over there waving hello. Anyway, comic books this week were released on August 24th, 2011. We have one more Wednesday to go. Unfortunately, the review will be in the first weekend of September. I hate that one. Cannot wait for September to just come and go. Joining me, of course, is Amber, and you guys know my cameraman Mike, now reviewer Mike. And news-wise, we are on the eve of a comic book reboot or relaunch when it comes to DC Comics. The news is all about what happened back in 1986. What?
And the eve of Hurricane Irene.
That has nothing to do with comic books, but thank you for trying. We are on the eve of DC Comics reboot. That's next week. Justice League #1, as well as Flashpoint #5. Have a few things. Yes, very funny.
No, it's gonna make a joke.
And what's your joke?
Mother Nature doesn't want DC Comics to do the reboot.
Yeah, so she only hits New York?
She's hitting where they're changing things the most. Isn't this
What
where
about California? There's other headquarters in California.
Yes. She'll hit there next.
We'll see.
Possibly.
We'll
Hopefully
see.
not, because I have family there. But
we'll see.
Maybe.
Anyway, DC Comics is doing their reboot, and that's basically what everybody's talking about right now on CBR and everything. They actually took a repoll. They repolled everything, and amazing. Everything is the same, plus or minus a few points. But one thing did change. Wonder Woman. It got an absolutely no by 1 point. This time that 1 point was on the absolutely yes. So maybe 5 people changed their votes for Wonder Woman, and that's mostly because of Gail Simone, because I hear she's awesome. And you're reading Wonder Woman anyway, so this is something for you to look forward to. I still have low expectations for OMAC and the Western and a few others, but I'm hoping that other things go well. We don't know. We'll see how things progress as time goes on with DC. We got a huge stack this week, but a lot of comics are tie-ins because DC Comics, like I said, is rounding out this the old to prepare for the new, and the new is coming in 1 more week. What are you doing, Amber?
Trying to get the cat out.
You're not working. It's not working. You're causing more trouble. Okay, first off, this week once again is the 24th of August 2011. I would like to throw this out first. Another DC superhero collection came out this week for Blackest Night specifically. It is, I hope I pronounced the name right, Bleez from the Red Lantern Corps. It is a beautiful statue mold, or mini statue mold. Comes with this wonderful little book as well. Get the whole book? Okay. And the next issue is something, well, did you get the good figure? You got the figure? A beautiful figure. And the next one, unfortunately, as far as Midtown is concerned, is sold out. I'm hoping to somehow find it somewhere else. It's going to be the Black Lantern Firestorm. I'm hoping to get my hands on it anyway because it looks awesome. And it would be the best of the two because I don't want to get the first one. Black Hand just is not an interesting Black Lantern for me. Firestorm will be an awesome addition to the Blackest Night series. I'll probably get Black Hand to complete the set if I get the Star Sapphire Carol Ferris, who is #5, I believe, and is sold out in a few places. By the way, what Amber did say is true, however. We are on the eve also of Hurricane Irene, which is hitting us at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's already 1 o'clock, so
It's already started.
7 more hours, you're going to hear hard winds out there, heavy rain. We've got the windows all bandaged up, but nothing's going to stop this comic review from being shot. Now, uploading, however, is a completely different story. We'll see how uploading goes. Hopefully by Tuesday this will be up, I'm hoping. If not, maybe by tomorrow. If tomorrow's nice and comfortable and the power, God willing, stays on, sorry. Mr. Swamp Thing, for knocking on you. Then it'll be up.
You're knocked on the wood.
Anyway, first issue this week, and comic of the week as far as indie comics go. And this is sort of being biased, not as unbiased as I usually am, and it's just because I'm a huge fan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from IDW, #1, first of 2 classics that are coming back. Did you actually hear that they were re-releasing Popeye as a cartoon, as a comic? I gotta get the first issue at least. I may not buy the whole series, but I gotta get the first issue of Popeye, which will probably lead into issue 2 and 3
and 4.
Anyway, this is cover A of a diorama, which I bought. And here's the rest of them. Cover A, as you guys can see, is Raphael, which kind of sold out a lot of places. Cover B is Donatello, C is Leonardo, and D is Michelangelo. Unless for some really, really good reason you found the R-E... I don't know the letter, hold on. The R-E... because they have all the comic covers here. So unless you got R-I letter B, then you got the whole poster in one big comic and you didn't have to worry about spending quad the price. But I really don't mind. I like it. I like having the 4 turtles on individual comic books.
I have to ask a question.
What? Of course you do.
Didn't they all have different colored bands?
In the cartoon series, they did. In the movie series, they did. In the original comic series, they did not.
Oh.
The only way you could tell them apart was by their
weapons.
Yep. Okay, so the story begins, and we have... Sorry, I had to fix those first. The story begins here, and we have the origin, which is being told 15 months prior to what's happening here going on. So, things have changed. I have not read the comic book series at all. I really wish I could have. Unfortunately, the only book that was released was a trade paperback of the first 5-ish issues, and that's $135, and I cannot afford that. I cannot. But I hear hardcovers are coming out in September and October, so I might get the hardcovers as they become available to buy. So I have no idea about the comic universe. Everybody knows the cartoon universe. April O'Neil, the reporter, Casey Jones, who is the guy who wears the hockey mask and pals around with the turtles. In this, it starts a little bit fresh, tiny bit fresh. In this, April O'Neil is not a reporter, she's a scientist. She was actually there before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She actually, spoiler alert, is the one that actually named all of them. And I want to show that scene, which is going to be right about, no, 2 pages down.
Oh, so she's the one who created Splinter.
Yes, she names them here. No, Splinter was named by other scientists because they were injecting him with some type of a splintering genetic thingy. Here we go. Basically separate. He's part of a psychotherapeutic drug test we're running. The drug's effect is like splintering or splintering the animal's nature into 2, basically separating out the capacity for human-like cognition from the instinctual animal state in theory. So basically it's making him more human than animal. And of course April O'Neil didn't know that there was psychotherapeutic drug testing going on. She thought it was just for bioengineering meat, and they automatically clam up. Also, Krang is introduced as a person who is looking for bioweapons. You don't see him at all. You just see a gloved hand. So I'm hoping Krang at least is still the alien that we all know and hate / love. You also are introduced to a new villain, or a new antagonist known as Old Hob, and that's how the comic actually starts off. Also, Raphael has left, and we don't know where he is, why he left, or where he left at this time.
Can I read all of those? Are they all the same?
They're all the same except different covers.
Okay.
So Raphael's gone, and there's a fight in the very beginning with Old Hob, and of course the Turtles win. But Old Hob says you're going to all be forgotten just like that other guy that left, and they are all missing Raphael, and they want to find Raphael. And this is where Casey Jones, or the newer Casey Jones, shows up, where it's a father beating up his son, and the son's name is Casey. So I'm guessing this is the new Casey Jones as far as the retelling of the tale. Raphael breaks in, because Raphael is still around. And the last page where it's to be continued is, you know what, let me show you what I'm going to do to people like you, to be continued. Good cliffhanger, good story, and I've shown artwork, but I'm going to show more artwork. Amazing artwork. At least when it comes to the Turtles, I think it was amazing artwork. Here, I'll show you the last page where it has Raphael breaking and saying, "That's let me show you how I handle freaks like you."
It looks like they might have been created the same.
They were all created the same. That's the whole point.
Why does one of them have a Punisher shirt on?
Where? Who has a Punisher shirt? It's not a Punisher shirt.
It looks like it.
It's not a Punisher shirt.
A very badly drawn Punisher.
Yes, that's why it's not a Punisher shirt. Okay, IDW, hats off, you amazing first issue. Yes, I am being a little biased because I am a TMNT fan, but wow, I'm sorry, I've heard 3 different reviewers say the same thing, so I know I'm not alone. And by the way, this isn't a real tattoo, nobody worry, I'm not getting tattoos, it's just something drawn on by a pen. Just wanted to throw that out there in case anybody notices it. We're jumping into the big 2 now, one from me, and then we go to Michael. FF number 8, finally jumping into the present. I have a little beef with the FF now. They're in 2 issues, 2 comics this week. Really not much Spider-Man in 1 issue. This issue had a nice amount of Spider-Man, but for a person who's freshly on the team, you'd think they'd show him a bit more when it comes to tie-ins and stuff, but that's my opinion. So, Reed and his band of villains go off to fight the other Reed, Richards, and Sue is not exactly happy with what's going on, and she actually confronts Reed's father, who she says, this isn't a war. He's like, yes, this is a war, and we're going to have to fight it to win. Epic picture, by the way, of all of the villains ready to go to war, or at least what Sue's, Reed's father's saying, war. Love the black costumes. Every time they go into something that involves a battle, like they went against the, I want to say the Inhumans, I hope I'm right. And I can't even pronounce where they went exactly, but epic black costumes. I'm trying to find some. Valerie's in some type of timeout. Love the cameo by Herbie. Love the cameo by Herbie. And they break her out anyway, Franklin and the others, so it's hilarious. Oh, here we go. Black costume Spider-Man. Like it. Like it. Love it. Even Mike gave a smile of approval. So everything's going right, and then Reed gets teleported away by Medusa. Right here. See, you didn't think I'd get that name. Didn't think I'd get the name, but I did. They're all surprised Black Bolt is alive again, and they're wondering why. And this is an epic grab, by the way, by Dr. Doom. But it turns out in the end, they all got backstabbed by the people, by the wizard. And I want to say Diablo, but I don't know what his name is, and I really don't care to know what his name is. Yeah, they don't give his name here. Yeah, I figured they wouldn't. Go figure. But basically, it's to be continued. They've been turned on. Reed Richards has been taken away. Dr. Doom has been knocked down. And so is Spider-Man, as far as I saw. Well, right now it's only Dr. Doom, but basically the villains have turned on Dr. Doom at least. So they're joining the Inhuman and Black Bolt side and the other Reed Richards, or they're just looking to destroy the FF once and for all. Solid issue. Glad to be back in the present. No more backstory of how Black Bolt came back. And we'll see where the Reed Richards is being taken by Medusa and what's going to happen next in the next issue. Really awesome. I'm just hoping that the FF, when they say FF... Now, this is what I was pondering. With the Fantastic Four 600 coming, what they can do and what they quite possibly might do is what they're doing in Captain America to the Fantastic Four. There's Captain America, #2 that's out, and then there's Captain America and Bucky. What the Fantastic Four might be is the past stories of the Fantastic Four, ones that we haven't heard of yet, that they're going to be retelling, or they're going to be telling, so to speak. And the FF is going to be more of the present-day Future Foundation after the death of Johnny Storm. My prediction, it could be 1,000,000% wrong. Fantastic Four could be the rebirth or the return of Johnny Storm, or maybe at some future date that will be where he returns and then FF will be concluded. But my guess is the Fantastic Four is going to be a past stories. That's my prediction. It probably isn't true. Probably somebody read something somewhere that is to the contrary, but as far as I'm guessing. I have not been up to date with the news. This hurricane has gotten me all worked up, nervous, and everything else, praying the power doesn't go out or anything like that. Are you enjoying the book?
Yes, I am.
I told you you would have. I told you you should have read it before.
I didn't have a chance.
Mike had to read it. Before you review your comic, how did you like the Turtles? You read the Turtle book.
I think it was great, classic, and great artwork. But the comic book I'll be reviewing this week, and by the way, this is another Punisher shirt that I have, which is all skull and burning and all that. So that's only 2 I have, so hopefully I'll get more soon. Alright, so the comic book I'll be reviewing is The Punisher. Issue number 2.
Let's zoom in on that.
Alright, before I get into the story, I just want to let you guys know what you see at the cover. Do not let the cover mislead you.
Another one where the cover is more which is not the kind of artwork.
Right, because the artwork in this issue is great. And
I can agree with that.
This is continuing on the wedding reception of what happened in issue 1. Basically, you get a story of like the Punisher, and then afterwards they have 2 people who hired somebody to kill the Punisher, and we don't know what the villain's name is yet. I will let you know at the end. And then we go into Brooklyn, Graves in Brooklyn.
Oh really? Graves in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Pretty close to us, okay.
And we meet a new character. Her name is Noah, which is right here on this panel.
This panel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you're holding her sideways.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
And she's working with Detective Collins and Walter Bolt on the murder scene. And then
you gotta show some pictures of the Punisher at some point.
I will. And Walter Bolt gets a call that Rachel woke up out of a conscious in the hospital.
Coma.
A coma, my bad. And they're gonna ask her questions.
She is now conscious.
Yes, she is now conscious. And then we go into the South Bronx, where Lamb gets into a fight because he squealed about what's been going on and all that, and he gets knocked out and gets hurt on the floor and meets the Punisher down here, and he gets freaked out.
Yeah, but he's still in shadow.
Yes, he is. But I'll show a good picture afterwards. So he goes in the club, and this is a great picture, by the way, right here.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the
is
best ones.
An epic picture.
Yes.
I mean, when he gets in, he starts shooting, and he doesn't give a damn about who
he doesn't ask questions.
No,
I gotta show that picture. Show that picture.
He just shoots them.
No,
like,
no.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah,
that picture. Oh, fuzzy compression.
I know. He just shoots, and he didn't even talk yet.
No, he shot that woman that was selling those women, and he didn't even care she was a woman.
Yep.
Down.
So then Detective Collins and Walter Bolt ask her questions to Rachel, saying if she remembers everything. First, she doesn't remember. Then when she remembered about where Danny was, she says, I remember. And then we get this little scene right here.
But she's going crazy.
Going crazy, and the curtain's closed. And finally, we get into 161st Street in the Bronx, where the Punisher's riding to this warehouse, and this girl, Dove, which is really funny because that was your character name Epic Story, was asking Lamb about what's been going on. And technically there was a sniper that Frank Castle was pointing at Dove, and there was the last column that said we wouldn't have a plan in place to deal with you too, Frank Castle. And the next one is going to be Vulture.
Awesome splash page.
But that kind of is referring to Spider-Man villain, and you know.
Well, they are all in the Marvel U.
I'm just saying, but I can't wait next issue, which is right here. This is what the next issue will look like. Still misleading, don't care. I'm psyched up for looking at Frank Castle versus the Vulture. Would I say buy it? Absolutely, it's a definite pickup. Artwork's amazing. Once again, don't let this cover mislead you. And yeah, so issue 3 will be out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And
I think 2 weeks or maybe a month now. Maybe they just wanted to push it first.
But I'm really looking forward, guys, to the Punisher vs. Vulture. Really great comic book. Get it. Buy it. It's awesome. So.
Okay, we're continuing. Now we have 3 X books, and then we're gonna, well, 4 X books, and then we're gonna cut to the next part for DC because we got a couple for DC. First off, Daken Dark Wolverine number 13. Daken is determined to find the actual claw person that's murdering everybody. This person's using claws. I keep forgetting that woman's name. That woman is so not important. I hate her anyway. Jesus Christ, I hate her name. I really do. But in the very beginning, I love this was actually advertised all over CBR. They're sending Moon Knight, the Avengers are sending Moon Knight after Daken to find out what's going on, because they all know he's in Los Angeles. What the hell is his name? Oh, come on. Agent Keel. Kiel, or Kiel. And he's trying to convince her that he's not the murderer, that it's somebody else, and he's going to find out who it is, and he's going to need her help. And they go to several different places, and unfortunately, he uses her as bait, and he blacks out after taking half a heat pill, so he's actually slowly weaning himself off of these heat pills, which is good because it's slowly killing him, I believe, in so many ways. The artwork is a little... I don't know, there are moments here, I guess, where the artwork isn't as good. He actually does confront somebody about who's killing the people in Los Angeles, and the guy says, I thought it was you, and he kills the guy anyway, and he saves a couple of teens that this guy had been holding prisoner. He's trying to convince himself he's not an animal, basically. Is there anything that happens in the beginning that I'm missing out on? Because I feel like I'm missing something. They go to a crime scene. He tries to convince. He tries to see if he recognizes anything. He doesn't. Runs off, and that's when they go to the party. He takes the heat pill, blacks out, wakes up. The party's almost over. He goes running off trying to find Agent Keel. I told you, and he gets confronted. Last picture, big spoiler, not really, by Moon Knight. To be continued. Next issue is the battle between Moon Knight and what?
Can you get me True Blood?
No. Anyway, no. Anyway, you can buy it yourself. Uncanny X-Force, number 13.
Pay it back. Please.
We'll see. Anyway, in issue 13, they are still stuck in the apocalyptic time. Phantom X gets the seed, which they have to... I'm sorry, let me just fix this. A, B, C, D... Oh, you got D. Okay, good. The life seed to bring back to save Angel. Unfortunately, they were supposed to find two. One to save that world's Wolverine, who is the apocalypse of that world, and one was to save Warren. Unfortunately, he only got one. So there's a long battle, and Apocalypse Wolverine takes Jean. Our world Wolverine tries to go up to save Jean. He does save Jean, but because there's only one life stone, she forces them to leave her behind to save their worlds, to save Angel, basically. And Wolverine's pissed off she did that. There was a spoiler about the new X-Force having the Nightcrawler from this universe, so I'm guessing Nightcrawler got caught up in the whole teleportation back, because actually you could see in this picture, you could see, I know that's probably Phantom X, but no, it is Phantom X, but I thought it would be Nightcrawler. I guess not. Maybe Nightcrawler somehow, some other way got back. I'm not sure. But I know Nightcrawler is probably going to somehow have his way back there. They show up in the present, and they get confronted by Angel and his group of people. And he says, you brought me the life seed. Great. Because he feels it was all for nothing, because he wasn't able to bring Jean back. And Warren shows up with his 4 horsemen and says, oh, no, it's not for nothing. You brought me my life seed. To be continued. Really good stuff. Unfortunately, though, I feel bad for Logan. He lost now 2 Jeans in a row. But maybe the Jean will show up at some point. You guys know they're not going to keep Jean Grey in the regular universe dead forever. I just don't like this whole crossing over between different universe X-Men and different universe X-Men coming into our world. It's ridiculous. It's getting a little too crazy. If you really look at all the X-Men team, you have X-Men from all around the known universes that the Marvel universes are creating. Okay, 2 more. What are we at?
24 minutes and 18 seconds.
Okay. Wolverine 14 concludes this week. Big spoiler. Ready, guys? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. The people he's been killing to get up to the people that sent him to hell were his children. They actually scoured the globe. Yeah, you don't think Wolverine was impotent his entire life. No, he's had lots of sex. The people he's been killing were his children. And you get one more backstory with one more kid.
Wolverine's been killing his kids?
Yeah, and he didn't know it, though, until the very end. He finds out at the very end. Everybody kills themselves. They all drink. I was right. They didn't confront him though. They all drank something in their punch that killed them all, sent them all to hell. By the way, that's a big spoiler for the ending. And then you get some backstory on this kid who was adopted by this guy, and he wants to see Wolverine suffer. Wolverine shows up in the room. The kid didn't drink it right away, so he could see Wolverine's face when he finds out. It's a long story. It's a lot of talking and bullshitting. But basically, when he finds out there's his kid, the kid's happy, he dies, they all go to hell. Everybody finds their different family members, except for one, the boy, who's left standing there, and Wolverine's a mess. Next issue says Wolverine no more. Wolverine is going to retreat back to the Canadian wilderness, which is interesting because I actually am looking forward to hearing this. It's good to finally break away from that. Another thing that kind of caught my eye, and I might get the first issue just to see what the hell's going on in the Ultimate Universe nowadays, is Ultimate Comics X-Men 1. I've seen the preview in multiple Marvel books. Looks interesting enough that I might actually check it out, but I'm being honest, I probably won't keep it that long. I might not even get it. To be honest, it depends how heavy or light the week is. Because if it's uber heavy, I'm not going to throw that in there, especially if I'm probably not going to like it. But if I am,
not that great.
No, that's the standard artwork that I saw from the other X-Men, Ultimate X-Men books. I'm not surprised. X-Men 16 with the FF. Now, this is where I'm a little annoyed with the Marvel U. Spider-Man is in the first few pages. They're in the Bermuda Triangle with the kids. He's with the kids and he's teaching them about the Bermuda Triangle. And that's it. You don't see him throughout the rest of this story, and I'll explain what happens in the rest of this, but that's it. He's with the kids, he's like the kid's teacher or something, and that's the end of it. All we see of Spider-Man in this entire issue with the FF guest starring is as basically a teacher. Here, this is the only 2 pages you'll see Spider-Man in. Not that I'm griping, but I mean, you'd think a person that they just put on the team, the FF team, they'd be a little bit, they put him in a little bit more, and I don't know why he couldn't have been part of the whole expedition. They're in the Bermuda Triangle, and out of nowhere, a buoy teleports to in front of their boat. Enters the X-Men. The FF go to Utopia and confront Scott Summers about a girl named Lee Forrester. And there's a distress call, and there's like some type of interdimensional gateway at the Bermuda Triangle. The FF and the X-Men team up to go there. Now when I say FF, I basically mean 3 out of the 4. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, or Sue Richards. And the Thing. Spider-Man, MIA. Very interesting. Also joining them is Magneto, Pixie, Cyclops of course, and I think that's it. I don't think anybody... Oh, and Nemesis and Emma Frost. Nemesis and Emma Frost also show up, but we really don't give a shit about Emma Frost. So if they do the interdimensional teleport thingy and they end up in this world. What are we at?
28 minutes on the dot.
Okay, well, I'm almost done. I have another minute. So the Thing tries the whole throwing Wolverine thing. It doesn't work, kind of. It really doesn't work, kind of. You know what? I'll stop it here and we'll continue in the next part. But it is an absolute grab, by the way. See you guys in the next part where we'll conclude X-Men. We'll go into DC and wrap this entire 95th episode up. So I'll see you guys there. This will actually help stretch out the 95th episode, the second part to this episode, actually. See you in the next part.